Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
Bhante.
Last week we could not have internet, our Zoom talks because there was internet failure. 4 days we did not have internet.
Oh,
And
good morning, Bhante.
Good morning. Fortunately, today we have internet. Okay.
Ape Vasana.
Huh?
Ape Vasana.
Ape Vasana. You did. When are you coming?
I'm coming this week. I'm coming on Wednesday.
Okay. Wednesday. Okay. Now we have a retreat going on, youth retreat.
Right.
There are not too many people.
It's still 5 minutes.
Chitra,
Hey, Bhante.
very good. Frank, Padmini, Bertram. Okay. Uday, 11.
I see lots of people watch later on YouTube.
Yes. Yes, this is, hello, Maitri.
See you.
තෙරුවන් සරණයි හාමුදුරනේ.
තෙරුවන් සරණයි. කෝ නෝනා පුතාලා එහෙම නැද්ද?
තෙයි හාමුදුරුවනි. සහභාගී වෙනවා.
ඈ?
සරණයි හාමුදුරනේ.
Yes.
දැන් ඒකත් කනෙක්ට් වෙයිවි.
Last week we could not have because internet didn't work last week.
Oh, that's what happened. We were waiting.
Yeah, we were worried.
We were waiting and we were also thinking what happened.
We are waiting for some other people. Company.
Both last week, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah?
Saturday and Sunday, both last week.
We could not have it because of the
Yeah.
internet failure. Okay. It took more than 4 days we did not have internet.
Good morning, Bhante.
Good morning. Now we start in 2 minutes. Let us wait for 2 more minutes. Huh?
Okay.
Good morning, Bhante ji.
Good morning. Let me get my speaker closer. Anyway. Now youth retreat is going on now.
Okay.
Yeah, but we can start our talk. Okay. Today we are going to talk on discourse called Dhamma Sutta. Dhamma means 3 Dhammas. There are sets of 10, each having 3. 3 of 10, 3 into 10, 30 Dhammas. We find this in Anguttara Nikaya, in the 10th section, called Dasaka Nipata. Dasaka means 10th. And the name of the discourse is Thayo Dhamma. And it starts with this because if 3 things are not found in the world, enlightened one, the Arahant, fully self-awakened one, will not appear in the world, nor will the teaching and the training proclaimed by the enlightened one. And that Dhamma also will not shine. So, on the one hand, Buddha will not appear in the world if these 3 things are not in the world. When the Buddha does not appear in the world, the teaching or Dhamma will not shine. So for both these, for Buddha to appear and the Dhamma to shine, there must be 3 things. What are the 3 things? Very common 3 things. They are Jati, Jara, Marana, birth, aging and death. That means, in other words, suffering. In the Four Noble Truths, Buddha explained suffering. He said birth is suffering, decay, aging is suffering, and death is suffering. Since suffering exists in these forms, Buddhas come into existence, and their Dhamma shines. Among many characteristics of suffering, 3 main things are inevitable. Others sometimes we can avoid. But these 3 things nobody can avoid. That is the birth, aging and death. Since we are born, we age. As we age, we die. That is common, universal factor. Nobody can stop it. So the Buddha appears in the world to show this. And he explained it, he explained this for 45 years in 84,000 sermons. Why so many sermons? To explain this called suffering. Why so many? One word is enough. One sermon is enough. But so many sermons he delivered. Why? Because there were so many people with so many temperaments, so many different stages of education, intelligence, wisdom, saddha, virya, sati, samadhi, panya, faith, effort, mindfulness, concentration, wisdom. Their state of mental states are different. And Buddha explained these three things for the suffering in many, many different ways. That is very deep subject, but I'm not going to explain all it because we have 9 more sets. This is the first set. The first set is birth, aging, and death. And then the second set, if I have more time, I go to explain them in detail. Within this short time, let me try to point out these things somewhat briefly. Monks, without giving up these three things, one will not be able to give up birth, aging, and death. So birth, aging, and death exist, but we can end them. We can end them. We can end them only if we have three things. What are the three? Suppose the Buddha said, monks, without giving up these three things, one cannot get rid of birth, aging, and death. What are the three things? Greed, hatred, and delusion. Greed, hatred, and delusion are the three main unwholesome roots. 3 roots. With greed, if one dies, one definitely will be born in one life, in another life. Very miserable life, unhappy life. If one dies with hatred, one will be born in a very miserable place, very painful state. When one will die with confusion, one will be born in miserable place. Don't think that with greed we will be reborn again as human being. No way. Or you will be born as human beings if you die with hatred. No way. If you die with confusion, you will not be born as human beings. And therefore birth, aging, and death, Buddha talk at least about human beings. Other beings, birth, aging, and death is not even can even talk about. But without giving, if we can manage to give up greed, hatred, and delusion, then it is possible for us to get rid of birth, aging, and death. That is second set. I will explain all these things in more detail, as I said, as we go on if we have more time. I can go through all these things once again. Then the third set. Third set is monks, without giving up three things, one will not be able to give up greed, hatred, and delusion. See, this is a very wonderful way of teaching. This is dependent origination. He explained in a different way. Dependent origination. One will not be able to give up greed, hatred, and delusion without giving up three things. What are the three things? They are Sakkaya Ditti, Vichikicha, Silabhata Paramasa. Sakkaya Ditti. Sat means is, Kaya means body, Ditti means wrong view. What is the wrong view about the body? There are 20 kinds of wrong views about the body. Not only body, feeling, perception, thought, and consciousness. They are called 5 aggregates. Now, self-identity view, meaning someone may believe there are 20 ways that people believe that there is self, 20 ways. Let us take the 5 aggregates. Body. There is a self and body are identical. That is one. And then one would think self has a body, or body has a self, or self and body are different. Self has a body, body has a self, self and body are identical, self and body are different. Now 4. You multiply 5 by 4, then you get 20. With regard to feeling, feeling and self identical. Feeling is in the self, self is in the feeling, and feeling and self are separate. So is with perception, volitional formations, and consciousness. Consciousness and self are identical. Self is in consciousness, consciousness is in self, or self and consciousness are different, separate. So this is how we get 20 kinds of view. This is a totally wrong view, because as everything always permanently impermanent, in that permanently impermanent something, there cannot be something permanent. If everything is impermanent, that is the first premise in philology that Buddha used to prove that there is no self. Buddha asked monks, bhikkhus, the body is permanent or impermanent? Impermanent, Venerable Sir. That which is impermanent, satisfactory or unsatisfactory? Unsatisfactory, Venerable Sir. That which is impermanent, unsatisfactory, subject to change, is it correct to say that this is mine? This is this I am. This is myself. No, Venerable Sir. So he went on asking these 3 sets of questions and concluded that there is no self. No self, not even shadow of self. And yet some people believe that there is self. It is all right for us to use the word self as conventional term. We use I, you, he, she, and so forth. These are accepted, universally accepted terms to use for communication. That we do. That Buddha also accepted. But to believe that there is something permanent is totally wrong. Now, that is number one. So one has to give up Sakkaya Ditti. Ditti means fear. Second is Vichikicha, doubt. Doubt about the Buddha, doubt about the Dhamma, doubt about Sangha, doubt about morality, doubt about the previous life, doubt about the future life, and doubt about existence of noble ones, holy ones, arahants, enlightened ones, and so forth. This kind of doubt is very, very dangerous because people doubt of certain things because their wisdom eye is not open, mind is not clean, impure. With this impure state of mind, can you see the truth? Can you see everything? Suppose there is a water with all kind of colors. Can you see the bottom of that water? If the water is having a lot of waves shaking, can you see something very clearly at the bottom? Suppose there's a diamond or gold or something valuable at the bottom. Can you see that? You cannot. And also the fact that you don't see something doesn't mean that it exists. It doesn't exist. People don't see everything. Not seeing everything doesn't mean that something does not exist. Therefore, people having doubt about those things also blocks your spiritual growth. Your path will never become clear if you have doubt. So long as you have doubt, you cannot get rid of your greed, hatred and delusion. And the third is Sila Vata Paramasa, attachment to all kind of rituals, clinging to them, thinking that these rituals will bring me enlightenment. These rituals will clean my mind. This ritual can make me liberate from suffering, thinking that they will follow rituals very blindly. And these are the 3 or the 10 fetters. 10 fetters. And the remaining 7 are the clinging to material form, clinging to greed and hatred. Then number 6, clinging to existence in form existence, clinging to formless existence, conceit, restlessness, and that means I concept, asmimana, and restlessness, and ignorance. These are the 10 fetters. These 3, without giving up these 3, first 3, you cannot get rid of your greed, hatred and delusion. This is the breakthrough. By attaining the first level of enlightenment or sotapanna, you don't give up all your greed, hatred and delusion. But at least this is the breakthrough. Then again number 4, fourth set. Monks, without giving up 3 things, one will not be able to give up self-identity, skeptical doubts, and belief in tribes and rituals. What 3? There are ayoniso manasikara, kummagga sevana and chetaso linattata. That means ayoniso manasikara, with unmindful reflection. Unmindful reflection means reflection without going to the root of problem. Yoniso. Then kummagga patipanna means following the wrong path, going in wrong direction. How can you achieve something in the right direction? When you follow wrong direction, you go wrong always. You have to get out of this wrong direction and put yourself on the right path. That is the third and second. Third is chenasolinatta, that is laziness. As long as you are lazy, you don't follow the Dhamma. That is why in the 7 factors of enlightenment, there is one factor called virya. We have to practice that. Then the group of fifth group, now I said 4 groups. Fifth group is, Buddha said, without giving up 3 things, one will not be give up the unwise attention and following the wrong path and sluggishness of the mind. What are the 3 things? Mutta sati asampajanya chetaso vikhepo, meaning wrong mindfulness. Whenever you hear the word mindfulness, you think mindfulness is always right. No. You have to specify mindfulness as right mindfulness with using this adjective. It must be right mindfulness. By following wrong mindfulness, you cannot expect the results of right mindfulness. You have to find rightfulness. Then that is called mutta sati, wrong mindfulness. Then asampajanya, unawareness. You know sati sampajanya? Sampajanya means clear comprehension. One must, if one does not have clear comprehension, clear understanding, clear vision, then one cannot give up those defilements. Then the last is the unsettled mind, mental distraction, restlessness. Restlessness is one of the 5 hindrances, and also in its advanced level of restlessness is called fetter, the spine fetter. Sky-bound fetter, that means subtle fetter, that you can overcome by attaining the full enlightenment, arahant path. Then the 6 sets, Buddha said, monks, without giving up 3 things, one will not be able to give up wrong mindfulness, unawareness, and mental distraction. What are the 3 things? They are dislike to see noble ones, ariyanang adasana. Then dislike to hear the noble one teaching, Arya Dhamma not seeing, or Arya Dhamma not hearing, Arya Dhamma, noble ones not hearing noble ones Dhamma. Then uparamba chittasa, chittatara, that is fault-finding mind. When one has these 3 things, one cannot give up the unmindfulness, wrong mindfulness, unawareness, and distraction. What are 3 things? They don't like to associate with noble ones. They are so pure, clean, noble. One who has impure, ignoble mind, puthujjana, always mind is defiled. That person doesn't like to associate with the noble one. He feels very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. That is what, when you remember Karane, background of Karane Metta Sutta, when the monks went to meditate, all the deities felt uncomfortable because the monks are very noble, holy, and they drove them away by creating various unpleasant objects because they don't like to stay with them. So long as one does not like to associate with noble ones, number one. Second is not desiring to listen to noble ones, Dhamma. When you associate with noble ones, you will listen to noble Dhamma. And when you don't like to associate with them, how can you listen to noble Dhamma? So you hate the noble Dhamma, so how can you get rid of your what you call foolishness, unmindfulness, wrong mindfulness, and so forth. In order to get rid of them, you have to associate with the noble ones. Listen to their Dhamma. Third in that category is always trying to find faults in everybody. Even if a noble one gives the Dhamma, he finds a fault in him. Faults in the Dhamma, faults in the expression, faults in the voice, and so forth. And if you keep trying to find fault, you never follow the Dhamma. Also, if you try to find faults in others, even among ordinary people, Buddha said, Paravajjana pasiti chagujjana sanjano, asava tasa vaddanti arate asavaka. When somebody is always trying to find faults in others, that person is far away from destruction of defilements, because he always is trying to find fault. Why is he trying to find fault always? Because his mind is corrupted. So he doesn't like to, he will be very jealous of someone who is doing well. So he trying to find fault. Then number 7. I try to finish this very quickly. Without giving up 3 things, one will not be able to give up dislike to see the noble ones, dislike to the noble ones of Dhamma, and finding faults in others. What are the 3 things? They are restless of the mind, uddhacca, unrestrained, asangvara, and lack of morality, dussila. When one has these 3 things, restlessness, unrestrained mind, and lack of morality, that person cannot associate with the noble one, listen to Dhamma, and avoid getting rid of finding faults. Number 8, monks, without giving up 3 things, one will not be able to give up restlessness of mind, unrestrained, and lack of morality. What are the 3 things? That is asadya, lack of confidence, asadhyam, and unfriendliness, avadanyuta, and lack of laziness, kosajya, or being lazy, kosajya. So, if one is lack of confidence, unfriendliness, and lazy, that person cannot get rid of the 3 previous defilements. Number 9, monks, Without giving up three things, one will not be able to give up lack of confidence, unfriendliness, and laziness. What are the three things? That is lack of respect, anadariyata, and disobedience, dovasachata, and friendship. Associate with a bad friend, papa mittata. That is when one associate, one does not have respect for those who are worthy of respect. Puja cha pujaniyana. In Mangala Sutta you hear, those worthy of respect must pay respect to them. If somebody doesn't pay respect to them, that is another defilement. And he cannot get rid of the previous defilements. And disobedience, one should be obedient to the teachers, parents, noble ones, obedient to the Dhamma, obedient to law, flexible, relaxed, simple. If he is very stubborn and arrogant, he cannot overcome those other defilements, previous defilements. And also associating with bad friends. Who are the bad friends? Friends who invite you to come and drink, have gambling, have various ways of drinking and wasting time. They are bad friends. Bad friends. So, that is number 9. Number 10, monks, without giving up three things, one will not be able to give up lack of respect, disobedience, and bad friendship. Cannot give up those things. What are the three things? They are moral shamelessness, ahirika, moral fearlessness, anuttappa, and non-diligence,
Hello?
pamad. Pamad.
අද නැතුව ඇති අද නෑ
Oh. I hope you
මම ආපු දෙවසරේ ඇරිලා ඊමේල් එක දෙවසරේ ඇරිලා මම නේ අර හාමුදුරේ එහෙන් භාවනා සොසයිටි තමයි කරන්නේ මම මණ්ඩේ ආපු කතා කරලා
I think somebody has to turn off
මේ සොසිතා මේ
turn off your microphone.
2x2 ෆොටෝ එකක් ගන්න කොහොමද වීසා ෆෝම් එක
Okay.
ඔයාලා
Turn off your microphone. Oh, thank you.
ඔයාලට කියලා ගන්න පුළුවන් ඒකට charge කරනවා
ඔව් අපිට ආව
Last set is
මේ වීසා අප්ලයි කරන්න මේ එම්බසි එක
Bhante, you can mute Upali. You can mute Upali yourself. He's the one that's talking. Yeah, he's the one that has the microphone on. So you can mute him.
Upali, please close your microphone. Okay. Have you closed it?
No, I don't think he heard you, but you can mute him yourself.
Okay, the last set is shamelessness for doing wrong things and moral fearlessness. Somebody is not afraid of doing anything wrong. They think everything is okay. Do anything you want. He is not afraid of suffering in the next life, suffering in this life, getting into jail, getting bad name from the neighbors and country and so forth, relatives and so forth. They are not afraid. And they do anything wrong. And last is non-diligence, pamad, negligence, not mindfulness, not diligent. When these three things are there, that person cannot overcome the other defilements. So friends, when we go through all these things, you can see how much we can achieve by following the right Dhamma. So to put all this is a very long discourse. I gave the summary, and still I can summarize in 5 minutes. The positive side: if one has moral shame, moral fear, and diligence, due to diligence, one is able to give up lack of respect, disobedience, and bad friendship. With good friendship, one is able to give up lack of confidence, unfriendliness, laziness. With firm effort, one is able to give up restlessness of mind, unrestraint, and lack of morality. With good morality, one is able to give up dislike to see the noble ones, dislike to hear the noble ones' teaching, and fault-finding mind. With no fault-finding mind, one is able to give up wrong mindfulness, unawareness, and mental distraction. With an undistracted mind, one is able to give up the unwise attention, following the wrong path, and sluggishness of the mind. With no sluggishness of mind, one is able to give up self-identity, view, skeptical doubt, and attachment to mere rites and rituals. With no skeptical doubt, one is able to give up greed, hatred, and delusion. Having given up greed, hatred, and delusion, one is able to give up birth, decay, and death. This is the positive side of this Tayo Dhamma Sutta. Tayo Dhamma Sutta, as I mentioned at the beginning, you find in Anguttara Nikaya, section 10. And if you like, you can refer to that. And I hope you all will use that text. It is available online. Go online and look at this text. Oh, now I have to end the session with our metta practice. Okay? And okay. Let us do some meditation. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, long or large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth, may all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere, neither from anger nor ill will should anyone wish harm to another. As a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child. Even so, towards all living beings, one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless loving friendliness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hatred or resentment, whether standing, walking, or sitting, lying down or whenever awake. One should develop this mindfulness. This is called divinely dwelling here, not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision, removing desire for sensual pleasures. One comes never again to birth in the womb. With this metta thought, friends, let us do some meditation. We have almost 20 minutes. I took 10 minutes from our meditation time to explain the discourse, and however we have 20 minutes to meditate. And we sit quietly. You don't need much instruction since you have been meditating, and please continue your practice. Banayawada.
නෑනේ බන්තේ walking meditation එකක් තිබ්බනේ.
Eh?
walking meditation එකක් තිබ්බනේ.
Ayekoda.
ඒක මේ ළමයිට මට තමයි ඒක ලීඩ් කරන්න කිව්වේ. ඉතින් පොඩ්ඩයි එකත් එක්ක ගියා.
ඒකනේ කියන්නේ.
එහෙමයි.
By means of this, oh my God, we're not belly. By means of this meritorious deed, may I never join with the foolish, may I join always with the wise, until the time I attain Bhavana. May the suffering be free from suffering, may the fear-struck be free from fear, may the grieving be free from grief, so too may all beings be. From the highest realm of existence to the lowest, may all beings arisen in these realms, with form and without form, with perception and without perception, be released from all suffering and attain to perfect peace. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Friends, we started this meditation with metta and end with metta. At the beginning we recited a section of Karaniya Metta Sutta, and at the end we recite these, which are composed by some ancient, very noble, holy persons with compassionate heart, to share their loving friendliness with everybody. So friends, similarly, may all beings in hospitals recover very soon and return to their normal life and continue Dhamma practice, metta, mindfulness, so that they can get rid of their samsaric suffering. May all the doctors, nurses and hospital staffs who dedicate their life, sacrifice their comfort, risk their own life, because they also can expose to various contagious diseases, and yet they take all the risk out of compassion for these people, and may they all find peace, happiness, find liberation from samsaric suffering. All those who are in various troubled spots, at places where a lot of discriminations, war zones, poverty-stricken areas, may they all find somehow peace and practice Dhamma and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering, not to have any more discrimination and so on. And may all others whose categories I have not mentioned, we understand that there are all kinds of living beings all over the universe, visible or invisible, far or near, gross or subtle. May they all find peace, solace and comfort, and finally attain total liberation from samsaric suffering. And I wish you all peace and happiness.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Bhante,
Sadhu,
thank you,
sadhu,
Bhante.
Sadhu,
Thank
sadhu.
you.
Judy, I see
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante. Sadhu, 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 sadhu.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Bhante. Great teachings. Good health.
Bhante.
Long